It's time for Giants Baseball Corner. The Friday Morning Report. With your host, this is the Giants Baseball Corner Friday Morning Report. Unfortunately, it's being done in a very clunky way off of my phone because my internet went out. My internet's been out. So it's also not going to have the normal music or procedures, but I'm trying to file every Monday and every Friday so that we can follow the Giants with some degree of regularity here in Giants Baseball Corner. By the way, I am looking for an employee. I want someone to run the Instagram account that's at Giants Baseball Corner and, file stories, do things. I can hire one person. If that's you, I'm assuming that you know how to get in touch with me because you would if you want to do the gigs I'm talking about. So do that. Get in touch with me. Thanks. This is Giants Baseball Corner. It is the Friday Morning Report. This was the worst week of the season for the Giants. It was crazy. We went to bed on Sunday night, and we were in first place in the National League West, the best division in all of baseball, the vaunted. We looked like a team that belonged with the billionaire bums, though we have half their payroll, and belonged with the challengers like the Padres and the Diamondbacks for the crown of the National League West. We looked like that on Sunday night. We were in sole possession of it for about an hour and a half. Then the bums won. So they were tied. But we were in first place on Sunday night. And we wake up here on Friday morning, 2.5 back. A game and a half behind the Padres since we went down to San Diego and lost both of them. And having lost to the worst team in baseball, the lowly Rockies, who came into town 5-25 last night and beat us. So, this is the worst week of the Friday Morning Report with the gear. It's also the worst week so far of the Giants' performance. I think we got to break down the season now into a little bit of a chunk here we can see very clearly. From about March 15th until about, let's just say March 15th to May 1st, okay? So all of April, and from March 15th through April, the Giants were on one kind of a ride that was very, very exciting, very energetic, really interesting. And we did well in Cactus League, and it doesn't matter. And we did really well in April, and apparently it kind of doesn't matter. So we're not looking at the record as much as we're looking at individual players, and we're looking at relationships, and we're looking at how we're getting along, and we're looking at decision making, particularly by Bob Melvin and the staff. Not so much by Buster Posey, but what's going on in game and what's happening over stretches is really important. And what we saw just now was, for the longest stretch of games consecutively played, 17 days of playing baseball every single day, which included a 10-game road trip. Bob Melvin managed that brilliantly. And I watched all of those, and I wrote about every single one, I think, pretty much. You can read my thoughts on those. But when you look at that as a chunk, what you see is a team bonding, a team going through a whole bunch of stuff very early in the season, the longest stretch of games at the very beginning, and they don't even know each other very well yet. And so errors can be chalked up to that, and also relationships being formed can be seen in that. And that was really amazing. So I think that chunk is what that was, the intro chunk of this team. March 15th until May 1st. And now here we're beginning the next chunk, okay? Now it's going to start mattering. Between now and June 15th, it's going to start mattering. So this is chunk number 2, right? And luckily for us, the longest stretch game thing is in the rearview mirror. The gauntlet, we call it here. The gauntlet is in the rearview mirror now. We can have 10 games, take a break. 6 games, take a break. A lot more regular action. Rest for people. Melvin doesn't have to sit here calculating, 10, 12 days down the road as much for a little while. The other side of that is we're playing division rivals now. And guess what? We just got clowned. Down in San Diego, the biggest problem, I think, was the umpiring. and I'm not trying to sound like one of those fans, but it was a joke. The zone was, that was the most inconsistent zone I've seen this season so far. I've watched every single Giants game. I've watched other games as well, but that was the most inconsistent zone I've ever seen. So I started pulling down the information about the umpires, and I'm going to start presenting umpire ratings and reviews here on Giants Baseball Corner. I don't want to name those guys right now, but I will tell you what happened in San Diego in the first game we played there was a joke. Gavin Sheets looked at the ump and said, "Oh, that ball hit me," and just started walking to first. And the ump stood up and didn't control it at all. It was, okay, he just let him walk up to first. So now the call on the field was an HPP. And Bob Melvin was like, what? Wait, what? And we're all saying, I could see it didn't hit him. Everybody could see the ball did not hit him. Everyone could see that. So we're about to continue. Bob goes, no, let's review that. I mean, it's the 8th inning or something. It's late in the game. And how did these guys just suddenly just get a zombie runner on first base? He told the ump I got hit and walked over to first. That's exactly what happened. So Bob goes, check it. Now we get to look at it. Oh, the big TV screen of TV screens and monitors and 9 people working over all this in New York to review the situation. Meanwhile, they're showing it to us and to the crowd. The ball is clearly, there's a gap between the ball and his elbow. The ball does not change rotation, doesn't change spin at all, doesn't change direction at all. The ball does not hit him. Even the announcers for San Diego, you guys have to remember, I'm not watching the product of these signifying monkeys. I don't like them. So I watch the opposing broadcast, and usually with the sound down. But if something starts to happen, I turn it up so I can figure out what's going on. Even the opposing announcers were all like, yeah, it didn't hit him. I don't know what Gavin's thinking there. MLB, it's a late night game happening on the West Coast in the middle of the week, Tuesday night. And they made a decision right there. They didn't want egg on the face of their umpire. So they let it stand. Now, the Wall, Randy Rodriguez, whom I had been calling the Wall because he doesn't let guys cross the plate. He had not allowed a run across the plate, though he had been stuck out there to pick up for starting pitchers who had left the bases littered with potential runs. He had not given up a walk, and he had not given up a run. And now a man just told the umpire, I got hit by pitch, when he hadn't hit him. Now, relief pitching especially, but pitching in general is a mental game as much as it is a physical one. And he did give up the 2-run homer to Bogaerts. Xander Bogaerts hit a home run off of Rodriguez. That was the first run scored against him in 12 appearances this year. And 2 more runs for the Padres. But that's what I'm talking about. I think we lack a mental toughness from Camilo Doval down. And when we go up against guys like the Bums, or the Padres, or even the Diamondbacks, Lovulo is no slouch. We are going to have a lot more stomach than that. So the 2 games down there were what they were. We think, okay, we'll come back and we'll beat up on the Rockies. They're terrible. They're the worst team in baseball. They have a 5-25, and we send out Justin Verlander, hopefully to get his first win. Last night, Justin Verlander learned what we all need to realize. He's not going to win 300 games. That's not going to happen. The last 300 winner was Randy Johnson. It'll always be Randy Johnson. I told everybody that for 15 years now, and now the chatter around Justin possibly getting to 300 has created an idiotic situation. The fastball velocity is not there. It is not scary anymore. Guys are seeing it, and they're hitting it. He has all no decisions, no wins. Last night, gives us 5 innings. We're ahead 3-1. He goes to start the 6th, and he throws a meatball. This thing is a 91-mile-an-hour four-seamer right in the middle of the plate in the 6th last night. Ryan McMahon, who he threw it to, was it because he knew that he was in an 0-for-35 slump on the 5-25 Rockies? Is that why he thought, well, let's get away with this? Or what? I don't know what's going on in Justin Verlander's mind, but it's got to be better than this. McMahon took all of his slump out on that, and he hit it dead center of the home run. His first hit in 36 plate appearances. A meatball, 91, right in the center of the plate from Justin Verlander. Well, it was 3-2, and Verlander left the game. And we lost because Giants bats have been quieted. This new chunk has been started, and I'm not sure we know who we are. We're not the urgency team anymore. Has to be done now. It's who we are now. The infield is communicating better. That is good. I got to see some decent plays. And Jung-Hoo Lee is the energy of this team. And when he's not on the team, Luis Matos is a serviceable replacement. He did hit the homer. He plays great defense. He can cover our giant center field. But he's not the guy. He doesn't give us the energy that Jung-Hoo Lee does. Someone else has got to give us that energy. And right now, it's got to be Chapman. Best bat, best glove, most reliable bat, most reliable glove is the guy we call the captain, and that's Chapman. So I think that's got to happen. We're running over today. All the tech is wrong. I hope you'll bear with me. This has been the Friday morning report without the internet, without regular gear. I apologize. This is Giants Baseball Corner. I hope you enjoyed it. And please do subscribe. Get friends to subscribe. We're going to have a separate conversation from everybody else here at Giants Baseball Corner. No ads, no money.